The 31 can accelerate to 1,900 miles per hour and climb to 65,000 feet. The plane's advanced equipment makes it dramatically different from the MiG-25. It mounts a powerful phased array radar, allowing it to detect aerial targets at a range of 180 miles. Low-flying targets can be tracked by an infrared sensor. The interceptor's fire control system allows to fire at 4 targets and track 10 targets simultaneously. This interceptor, unique in its class, demonstrates the potential of the Mikoyan Bureau. In its 50-year history, the Bureau grew from a small department into one of the largest aviation enterprises in the Soviet Union. More than 180 planes were designed, built, and tested by the Bureau. Its MiG fighters became synonymous with high performance and reliability, a bridge to the 21st century for Russian aviation.
The mammoth 500,000-pound XB-70 Valkyrie was easily the most impressive bomber-sized aircraft of its time. Capable of cruising at Mach 3 speeds and altitudes in excess of 70,000 feet. The big craft was nearing the end of its Phase 1 test program 20 years ago this week, when on 8 June 1966, the number 2 vehicle took off for a routine cleanup mission. On board were after the Valkyrie had completed its tasks for the day, it formed up with an F-5, an F-104,
Now that the sound barrier has been cracked, the thermal or heat barrier is the goal of the experimental X-2 rocket plane. Carried to 30,000 feet by a B-29, the stainless steel bullet designed to stand speeds of more than 2,000 miles an hour and reach an altitude of 100,000 feet is released. On these tests, the rocket plane is not fueled, but in future runs, when it attains maximum velocity, heat developed by friction may reach more than 1,000 degrees. Here, the ability of metal and alloys to withstand the heat are expected to provide valuable data for projected spaceships and satellites. The slim metal ship may furnish some of the answers as the world enters the space age.
MiG-25 began to enter service in early 1972. Of performance, and a dedicated trainer version was essential. It was called the MiG-25U and at Vladivostok and landed quite unexpectedly at a Japanese airport. Its pilot, Viktor Belyanko, had defected. Western authorities examined it much.
The YF-12's obvious external difference was the cutaway of the chines at the nose to accommodate radar needs. To compensate for the loss of stability caused by the interception fighter's function is to catch something and shoot it down.
The bullet from a high-powered rifle leaves the barrel at about 3,000 feet per second. On a routine mission, the Blackbird travels faster, 3,200 feet per second, for up to 90 minutes at a time. No matter how serene it may look, this kind of speed requires unyielding precision.
You know, Mach 3, rubber, nothing. You know, metals, plastics, all this stuff is useless. And they just had to go through so many contortions to make every single part of the plane tolerant of these extreme temperatures.
Temperature affects
The world's largest supplier, the Soviet Union. In flight, the titanium skin reaches 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, causing it to expand by more than half a foot.
Before the X-15, the question had been, what is to be man's role in space travel? Can he pilot an aircraft out of the Earth's atmosphere, fly it in space, then re-enter the atmosphere and bring it back to a safe landing on Earth? There were many unknowns to be discovered, many problems to be overcome before the answer would be known.